warm up. Start off with some 30 and 40 footers. Getting stupid loose. Oh, I don't know, something's just off today. 60 feet? Yeah, just casual. Yep, we're ready. Howdy YouTube fam, Robbie C here, and you may be asking yourself,
Robbie, are you doing another putting video?
Yes, I am. There is one thing I know about good disc golf, and it is that everything revolves around putting. Let's say, for instance, that you're having a bad day putting. Well, it's going to put pressure on your upshots because you're going to think in your head, I've got to park it every single time. Because if you don't park it, then you're not going to make the putts and you're going to lose strokes. So all this pressure builds on your upshots, and then that transfers to tee shots because you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not parking my upshots, so I need to park my drive. And all of this pressure builds on your drives. And what happens on your drives? Well, you don't hit those either. Everything revolves around putting. You may ask yourself, how do I make more putts? And the answer is pretty simple. Practice. But that may not be enough for most of you, so I want to go over 3 steps that I believe you need to take if you want to become a better putter. Before we dive into that, if you're not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button and ring-a-ling-a-ling that bell so you know exactly when new content comes out. The first thing I believe is super important when it comes to becoming a better putter is something you've heard me say in most of my other videos when it comes to putting, and that is find your comfort circle. What is your comfort circle? The comfort circle is the distance you believe you are going to make over 90% of your putts. Now, this distance can be different for a ton of people, but it's all about finding your distance. The worst thing you could do is feel shame for your comfort circle, because when you start feeling shame for that, you stop practicing in your comfort circle, and when you don't practice in your comfort circle, it actually shrinks. You need to spend time knowing your comfort circle and being ready for that. Your comfort circle is going to open up a ton of different options for you and teach you just how easy it is to park your upshots in your comfort area. So many people walk up to 10 and 15 foot putts and feel incredibly nervous. But what if you just practice them? What if you spent more time doing 10 and 15 foot putts than anything else? What you realize when you do this is that your comfort circle expands to 10 feet. It expands to 15 feet because you have thrown hundreds upon hundreds of putts from this range. So when you step into a 15 foot putt, it's completely natural. You know exactly what you're going to do. It doesn't matter what your comfort circle is now because the more you practice, the more it's going to grow. We can't talk about practice without talking about today's sponsor, and that is DiscDot. One tool DiscDot offers that I believe is so helpful is their distance markers. These are tools you stick in the ground and it lets you know the distance to your target or to the basket. I love these because I hate having to walk off my distance every single time and wonder, am I putting from this distance or this distance? You can spend your time actually putting rather than walking off your putts with these amazing distance markers. Another thing I love about DiscDot is that they're always giving back. Not only do they partner with charities and organizations, but they also sponsor major disc golf events. If you want to help support DiscDot and what they're doing to give back to the community, head over to DiscDot USA and use the code RCDiscGolf to get 10% off of your order. Not only can we make a change to our putting game, but we can also make a difference in the world. The second tip is something a lot of people don't think about when it comes to becoming a better putter, and that is how you practice. Stop me if this feels familiar, but when we find ourselves on the putting green, we can sink putt after putt after putt after putt, and then when we get to the rounds and actually out on the course, it suddenly feels like we've never putted before in our lives. Why does this happen? I believe this happens because a lot of our putting practice is done ineffectively. We don't spend time working our routine and doing what we do on the course when we're in our putting practice. We think to ourselves, I heard that I need to do 200 putts a day, so I'm gonna go do 200 putts a day. During my 30-day Game Changer plan, I challenge every single participant to do 100 putts a day doing their entire routine. That's right, mark your lie, put down your mini, Go through your entire putting routine and drain the putt. If you only hold one disc while you're out on the course, then you only need to hold one disc while you're practicing. If you hold two discs, that's great. You're not going to have a stack of 10 putters in your hand while you're out on the actual course. So when we do that, it actually can create some really bad habits for us so that when we putt on the course, it feels completely unnatural. If we only putt when we're playing rounds and we only play 3 times a week, then at minimum we're putting 54 times. It doesn't feel like a lot of practice to actually turn us into a better putter. So spend time on the putting green practicing your routine over and over and over again. The third and final thing to becoming a better putter is to understand when you're learning how to make putts and when you're learning how to miss putts. I do think you should practice long putts. I'm not saying you should never try a 40-foot putt or a 50-foot putt, but I don't think that you should spend your entire practice routine working on 40 and 50-foot putts, because once again, I hope that we don't have to make those long putts. When you're practicing your putting routine, Eagle McMahon said it best: if you're not making 50% of your putts, you're not teaching yourself to make putts, you're teaching yourself to miss putts. Find your comfort zone, work in your comfort zone, do your full routine, and you're going to see yourself start hitting more and more putts. And then when you get a little further out from the comfort zone and you have those longer putts, you're going to know what it takes to make a shorter putt. Therefore, just put a little more on it and you'll be able to make longer putts. You'll start surprising yourself that you're making these long putts and you'll think, wow, I just can't miss. But when you start missing more than 50% of your putts, that's okay. Step back in, go closer. If I'm having a rough day on the putting green, I'll go to 15 feet or even 10 feet just to make sure that I'm drilling putt after putt after putt after putt. As a bonus tip, I want to talk a quick moment about jump putting. I have seen person after person after person come up to the putting green and think, if I jump putt this, I'm going to make a really long putt. Usually this happens at the 50 and 60 foot range. I see amateur after amateur after amateur line up a jump putt, try to run it, and wildly flail the disc in the air. In fact, I've been prone to do it myself. And what happens when you do that? You actually don't make the putt. If you're telling yourself on the jump putt, hey, I don't think I'm going to make this, I'm just trying to get this there, then stop. Don't throw a jump putt. Just approach. Sarah and Sean over at Sinclair Disc Golf have a phenomenal video on this, so you should definitely check it out, and I'm going to add the link in the description below. Don't jump putt just to jump putt. Approaching will always be more controlled and more reliable. I hope these tips help you improve your game today. One of the best ways that I love helping people improve their game is through the Birdie Fam. The Birdie Fam is a disc golf community designed to help you improve your game. That's right, you. We're not just talking about basics and fundamentals. We're talking about your game specifically in a healthy and safe environment. For anyone that signs up for the Birdie Fam, you get a personal video form critique so that you can start working on your game today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let me know in the comments below, what putter are you using to have a little Drano into the basket? It's Team Warden over here, and I really look forward to reading what putters you guys are using out there. But for now, I'm going to leave you with the birdie.